Yes, a very good evening to you, and you're very welcome to the programme, all brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine. Well, it's primarily hurling and GA dominating tonight's show as we reflect on Waterford's victory over Kilkenny on Saturday night. That unforgettable victory in Croke Park as the Daisha marched through to the All-Ireland hurling final on December 13th, where they'll face Limerick. It'll be a repeat of the Munster final. We'll hear very shortly from Daisha selector Stephen Frampton. We'll also get the reaction from Waterford defender Kevin Moran, who we spoke to after Saturday's action in Croker. We also spoke to a very proud and happy Waterford County Board Chairman Sean Michael O'Regan, who'll give his reaction to Saturday's victory. Plus, we'll have a look back at the other sporting stories that dominated what will go down as an unforgettable weekend. Good evening to you.
We had the momentum coming into the game, and I think that maybe the 2-week break mightn't have helped Kilkenny. It might have helped us more than it helped them. So we're very fortunate to have a real modest bunch of men that are mad keen to learn, and they have a great relationship with Mikey Beavens, their coach, which for me is just instrumental for us to create what we're creating. And just hope now we can stay going and look forward to 2 weeks time, and a great opportunity again for this group of players.
We could have been in at half time. We felt we definitely 5 or 6 kind of mistakes made ourselves, so we knew we had a chance. We knew to break up. We've got legs, we know that. In fairness to a few lads that really stood up, Jack Fagan and a few, when we needed them, and look, we got to goal or two. It's just everyone contributed. We got into it.
We had a 7-point lead at half time, which in hurling is absolutely a guarantee of nothing, except it's better to be 7 points ahead and 7 points behind. And we had missed chances in the first half, but they also had missed chances in the first half. Second half then, obviously they won off of the primary possession. They were very strong on the sky. They were very athleticism was strong, and they took over the game in lots of ways. And we did struggle in the second half. Fought it out to the bitter end, as ever, and just we didn't do enough to win the game.
In fairness, everyone stood up in the second half, and we kind of needed a few. In fairness, we were doing silly things in the first half, but we kept plugging away. We said that don't just panic, go for goals, keep tipping over the bar, and we got back into it. I think we got back to 2 or 3, and then we kind of believed, right, we have it again. So look, just delighted to come up here and get a win. If we can't take faith from that, we're after beating Kilkenny. I think they haven't lost an All-Ireland semi-final in their last 11. In fairness, they're the best in the country at that. And look, they're sweet ones to get over them now. We'll
focus now on next Sunday, 2 weeks. We'll come here to hurl the match again in 2 weeks' time. That's what we're aiming for. We'll hurl the match now instead of the occasion, please God, in 2 weeks' time, and that's what we'll be about. And sure, look, we'll take our chances. We're in it at least, and once you're there, you're in with a chance.
Yes, a very good evening to you, and you're very welcome along into the programme, all brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, making better athletes. And by God, there was some athleticism shown in the second half in Croke Park on Saturday night. Waterford are back in their first All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship final for the first time since 2017 by virtue of a 227-223 victory over South East neighbours Kilkenny in a rip-roaring semi-final at GAA headquarters. Not looking so good for the day show, was it? At half-time they trailed by 7 points, 2-11 to 10 points, thanks to Kilkenny goals either side of the water break from Martin Keown and TJ Reid, who was phenomenal really for the Cats once again the other night. He ended with 114, 12 points coming from frees, 1-2 from play. But Waterford really stormed into the game in the second half, and that Stephen Bennett goal on 37 minutes really seemed to reignite the Daisha challenge, and from there they really didn't look back. They outscored Kilkenny 217 to 12 points in the second half. Neil Montgomery chipping in with 2 brilliant points. Austin Gleeson, 4 spectacular efforts from play. He was playing like a man possessed really in the second half, and rediscovering, I suppose, that form that won him Hurler of the Year a couple of years ago. A brilliant then goal by Dara Lyons, the Dungarvan man, rifling the net from close range after Jack Fagan caught a brilliant ball in the air, and he plucked some ball out of the air the other night, was involved in the 2 goals with the catches. And as somebody mentioned, Waterford doing a Kilkenny on Kilkenny, particularly the aerial battles in that second period, and some late scores there from Irla Daly and fittingly Tig de Borca, and then Austin Gleeson rounding off the scoring. An incredible night at GAA headquarters as Waterford beat Kilkenny 227 to 223, and our own commentary team of Kieran O'Connor and Shane Shiner Ahern weren't half getting excited as the curtain drew on a famous victory for Waterford. Here's the last few minutes from Saturday night's All-Ireland semi-final.
We haven't beaten them in Croke Park since '59. A lot has happened since then, but what a win for the men from the Daisha. Superb third quarter, that made the difference. Liam Cahill has done it with Tip, now he's done it with Waterford. Cody suffers defeat against Waterford here in Croke Park. Sean B. Hall is down dancing a jig down on the line. All the players are hugging. Could you believe it? At half time, spoke to some of the Kilkenny people, they couldn't believe how poor Waterford were in that first half, but the third quarter has done it for Waterford.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff indeed. Kieran O'Connor calling the final few minutes the other night. Many thanks to Kieran and Shiner for their commentary in Croker the other night. Really privileged to be there and to witness that Dacia performance. The work rate and energy was just second to none, and you could really see what it meant to the players at the final whistle. And to everyone watching at home as well, it's gained huge traction, I suppose, and hasn't it given the county a real lift? And roll on the decider in 2 weeks' time, December 13th, Croke Park, 3:30pm, for the first time ever in the history of the GAA. It'll be Waterford against Limerick in the All-Ireland final. And earlier on this morning, I got a chance to catch up with Waterford selector and former Dacia captain Stephen Frampton to get his take on Saturday night's victory. But he first of all admitted to me, and Stephen being frank and honest as always, that the players have parked Saturday night's victory by now and are fully focused on getting ready for the battle with Limerick on December 13th.
We have, Gavin, yeah. Look, it was a great win for us, great excitement. But I suppose the beauty of this year is the matches are coming so quick at us. We have no option but to concentrate on the next hurdle, and that's really, from Sunday morning at recovery, that was it really. Where all eyes are on the All-Ireland final now.
Absolutely, yeah. Bring that on the 13th of December. And you mentioned that, Stephen, about the games coming thick and fast. Do you think that's suiting this present bunch of Waterford hurlers?
Well, I suppose, look, there's been plenty of debate about this. I mean, if we had lost on Saturday night, it wouldn't have been an excuse, but people would have been looking at it. And I suppose we'll say that it was great. We've kept our momentum moving forward. So, it's how you manage it really, But these players are trained to such a high level of fitness, and the science that goes into it now, like that. It's if it's dealt with correctly, they should be okay, and I think they showed that on Saturday night.
Yeah, they certainly showed it in abundance. Probably wasn't looking too hectic, Stephen, at half time when you went in 7 points down to 11 to 10 points. Martin Keown and TJ Reid with the goals either side of the water break. But did you feel that you were still in the game at half time? Obviously created some great scoring chances in the first half, but 9 wides as well in that opening half. But what was the attitude like at the break?
Yeah, it really was kind of I suppose when you're caught in that bubble, you're not really reflecting on the first half and being very disappointed with aspects of play. But really, there was at no point did we think, right, that's us done. We were very much focusing on trying to improve things for the second half. And a lot of people have said that to me, that did you think that it was over, and really that didn't kind of enter our heads at all. And when you're in the kind of heat of battle and in the dressing room and you're trying to talk to lads, like I suppose that can't enter your mind either, but no, it was very much business as usual, and like 7 points in a game of hurling isn't look, it's, as Brian Cody I think said, you'd rather be 7 points up, but having said that, 7 points down is not, it's not surmountable either, and we didn't dwell on the margin at all. We just dwelt on our performance in the first half and how we could improve it.
Absolutely. Well, I suppose you were creating the chances, Stephen, as well in the opening half. Maybe the conversion rate wasn't there, but that would have been a pleasing aspect, that you were getting into the right positions. Just maybe didn't have that end product as you had the previous week in the first half against Clare.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't think Kilkenny were beating us off the field. Really, they probably were scoreline wise, but if you look at the passages of play, like we weren't doing too badly, and they weren't kind of dominating us. It's just that they were more clinical, and obviously they got the 2 goals as well. So look, we had plenty to work on, and that's what we did, and you just have to kind of look forward the whole time in this game, really, in any sport, So thankfully it worked out for us in the second half.
Yeah, it certainly did. A second half that'll live long in the memory. I suppose Stephen Bennett's goal really reignited the challenge, I suppose, Stephen, and great improvisation with the kind of drop shot finish, but before that, great ball winning ability from Jack Fagan, who had a phenomenal second half, really thundered into the game. But that goal, I suppose, really was crucial, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Like it gave us, like we really did need to get a green flag just to get things moving, and Stephen popped up as he has done. He'll admit himself he wouldn't be happy with his goal return at intercounty level, but he's synonymous with goal scoring really at his underage, under 20 and minor level with Waterford, and he'll hopefully catch up soon enough at that level. But yeah, he took the goal very, very well. To drop that ball when he was going to be hooked to, it was really good, really clever, and but that's what that's what you expect from Stephen as well. He's a top class player.
Yeah, great improvisation, and he alluded to it, I think, in the build up to the game and even afterwards, Stephen, about he as a management encouraging players to take on their defenders, and when he ran at Kilkenny in the second half, he really had him in all sorts of bother.
Yeah. Like I just we did well in the second half, and when we did run at them, and things started to go well for us. And look, it's all a confidence thing as well. When things start to you start to go in the right direction, it just gathers momentum, and you could see the enthusiasm in the players, and their fitness levels are very, very good. So it's really just about momentum, like and a quick early start in the second half really got that moving for us, and it was a case of just leave them at it. Then they're a great bunch of fellas, and their enthusiasm and their drive is fantastic, and it worked for us in the second half, so we're delighted.
Absolutely, yeah, it was phenomenal. And of course he went into the water break in the second half leading 121 to 215. Neil Montgomery, who came on and got 2 massive points upon his introduction, he made a huge impact, as did I suppose the entire bench. But did the water break nearly at that time, Stephen, and you've witnessed the games this year being involved in the sideline, it can have that effect, maybe kind of come at the wrong time for teams as well, if you have, say, that momentum.
Yeah, well, almost every time this year we've been very poor coming out of the water break, having kind of gathered a head of steam going into the water break. The same thing happened against Limerick in the Munster final, and we came out of it poorly. And I think every team is determined to kind of look. It works good for some teams. It works badly for others, and we didn't lose momentum after it, which was very satisfying this time round. But you mentioned the subs and Neil Montgomery and the rest of the guys, and like they've been, the whole panel has been phenomenal all year, and the work put in by 26 to 36 on the panel has been fantastic as well, and that's what makes it, and like it is now a 20 man gay effort on the day of a match, and it's very important that those lads make an impact when they come in, and every player that has come in this year for us has made a really positive impact. So that's hugely important as well. Like, so it's all very well, talking about the guys that start, but the guys that are on the sideline are just as important as far as we're concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. Something Kevin Moore mentioned. We were chatting to him after the game on Saturday night. The unity, Stephen, amongst the squad and yourselves as a management team as well. He was, touching on, I suppose, how great a setup it is to be part of, and you can see the guys are exemplifying that then out in the pitch as well.
Yeah. I mean, and you've got to have that. Like, we're kind of one bunch going forward, really, and there's strength in numbers and strength in a kind of a unified approach as well, and that's very important. And it's when things are going well, that's very hard to break as well. So it's very positive, But look, there's no cup for Saturday night. Like, it's a great boost and a great moral victory over our rivals across the bridge, and people in the east side of the county will appreciate it probably a bit more than people in the west. The people in the west had their sunny day when we beat Cork earlier on in the year, so it's very positive. And we do feel the positivity around the county, and it's very good. But we very much realise and recognise that we still haven't won anything, so that's very important, and that's why we're looking forward to 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, bring it on indeed. First All-Ireland final between Waterford and Limerick, which we'll touch on in a moment. But another substitute, Stephen Dara Lyons, with that second goal. Again, a great team goal, and the vision and the ball-winning ability of Jack Fagan very evident again. And to see Dara, raising the green flag, a great moment for him. And he just rushes back out then to his position as well. That, the guys, they didn't lose focus at any stage in that second half the other night, Stephen.
No, not at all. And I think Dara has come on in every match so far, and he's just full of energy, and he gives us great forward momentum, and yeah, he's a fabulous player, and it was great to see him getting the scores. He's been a creator when he's come on up to now, but for him to get his score in Croke Park was great for him, and great for his confidence as well, and very important score obviously for us as well, So Dara has done really, really well for us, and hopefully he will the next day as well.
Yeah, let's hope that'll continue. And I suppose TJ Reid did his best to keep Kilkenny in touch with his free taking ability. He ended with 114, which was phenomenal, but he always seemed to have that impetus even towards the end of the game, Stephen, when there was 4 minutes of additional time signalled, and Austin Gleeson with his 4 points, the last one out in the sideline, he just kind of dropped to his knees after the full-time whistle through sheer exhaustion, I suppose. But Iarla Daly coming on, chipping in with a score, and Tyg de Borca with that monster score near the end as well. So you didn't show any tiredness or fatigue setting in, that you finished the game really strongly, and that must please you as a management team as well.
It does. It does please us. As I said, the fitness levels are fantastic in the team, and look, it's you just don't when you're kind of driving forward and things are going right for you as well. You tend not to get as tired. That's human nature. You tend to be a lot more energetic and enthusiastic, and you just can't wait. And I would say if the match had gone on for another 5 or 7 minutes, our lads would still be moving just as well, because they're hurling with a bit of confidence now. And as I said, though, it's all for nothing. We're just, our eyes now are on the All Ireland final and Limerick, and really, that's what our focus is, and we enjoyed that win on Saturday night, but it's focused now on 2 weeks' time.
13th of December, and just touching on that, Stephen, it will be repeated, the Munster final from a few weeks ago. Limerick 27 points to 24 winners over Galway yesterday. Sort of a real tactical battle, more so than maybe a good quality game, Stephen, but I'm sure that won't bother Limerick. They got over the line, they're back in the All-Ireland final, and I suppose, to use the cliche, semi-finals are far getting over the line, I suppose, aren't they?
Absolutely, you took the words out of my mouth. You can win ugly, win beautifully, win whatever way you want, but semi-finals and finals, to be quite honest, are there to be won, and I suppose it was always going to be that type of tactical battle with Shane O'Neill in charge of Galway. He'd be very, very familiar with the Limerick setup and a lot of the Limerick players, obviously. And I thought he got it right for a good bit of the game. But look, Limerick are so strong and so comfortable in what they do, and they're very, very difficult to break down. And even they kind of left Galway back into the game, but they had the composure to finish out the match as well. And they're just, look, they're rightly so, they're favourites. But they're going to be very, very difficult to deal with again, and we had our own problems with them in the Munster final. So massive challenge for us, and nobody has been able to knock them off their perch. They're whatever Munster final, the Munster champions, league champions. So it's a big challenge for us, and we're under no illusions. But look, we'll give it a rattle, and we'll give it our best shot.
Yeah, I'm sure it's one you're really looking forward to. And I suppose just to end on it, Stephen, great win the other night, as you say, but and the Waterford public really delighted. I'm sure there was plenty of emotions in sitting rooms all over the county and worldwide on Saturday night. But your group in that bubble, I suppose, of management and players, that Saturday night is parked now, all focus on 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, as I said, Gavin, we didn't win anything. We didn't win any silverware on Saturday night, so it was a great great win against Kilkenny, who are one of the top teams in the country. But I suppose this is a results-based business. We don't have a cup, so we've gone one step further, and that's the way we have to look at it. And I think I'd hope that everybody recognises that and maybe keeps it nice and quiet for the next couple of weeks. But look, we're looking forward to the final. It's going to be a massive challenge, and we're up for that challenge, and we'll see where it takes us. Really, that's all I could say to you.
Stephen Frampton, really appreciate you taking the call. Well done on Saturday night, and look, we'll catch up with you again before the All-Ireland final.
Yeah, thanks, Gavin.
We are WLR.
We are Ireland's local station of the year.